All right, so I went to Ithaca College. Ooh. All right. And the story takes place there. I had a roommate named Tyler, and he was a very avid record collector. He would spend all his hundreds of dollars every year on records. He was crazy about it, and so much so that our first week at school together as freshmen, one of the first things he did was go down to the library to see what records they had in the media floor and to see which he could take out and listen to in our dorm. So he went there and was astonished to find that they had a record he thought he would never encounter, which was Lamont Young's The Well-Tuned Piano. And this is it's a box set of, I think, 5 LPs of a 6-hour solo piano piece. And he loved this composer, he loved this music, and he never thought he'd see the record because it is so rare that on average it's worth $700. Like, you'll never come across this record. But they have it at the library, and he was so surprised. And there's no way they knew what they had, because otherwise they wouldn't let dumb kids take it back to their dorm and sit with it. So he went and got it, and this record came out years and years ago, and he saw that all this time in the library, he's the only person to have ever taken it out. He's the only person to truly appreciate and take the 6 hours to listen to this one man play the piano. So we joked that he should steal it. He should take it. He's the only one who likes it. And we honestly considered it. Late at night in our dorm, we thought, how could we get it? And it just was impossible, because all of the media was on a second floor behind a counter. And in order to get anything, you had to tell someone at the counter, they'd go back and get it for you and scan it. So it's not as simple as just going and grabbing it and just bolting out the door. We considered trying to get jobs as those people, and then we could be the inside guys. We applied every year. We never got it. We never got the job. So we just settled that this would never happen. So 4 years later, we are seniors. We're in our last semester, and Tyler decides he wants to take advantage and listen to Lamont Young's The Well-Tuned Piano one more time. So he goes, he gets it, he listens to it, and he sees that the last time it was taken out was by him as a freshman. That all this time, still thousands of people come through this campus, and no one likes this record, only him. So rightfully, he thought it was his. It was his record. So now we have a college education behind us now. We have 4 years of new critical thinking skills. We decided to put them to use and really try to figure out, how can we steal this record that no one's listening to, so Tyler can just have it? It was tough, but we came up with a plan. It had 3 phases. Phase 1, we would have to get a bunch of people to start taking out the record and mentioning that they just heard about the record on a blog or in a class or something, so there'd be a long list of recent takeouts. So if anyone realized the record was gone, Tyler wasn't the only person to be listed as the only person who had interest in this record. So phase 2 involved Tyler would have to go and spend time in the library late at night, which was normal during weeks towards finals week. The hours were, it was open later, and it was a lot more crowded, and he decided he was going to go and wait till the library closed. He was going to stay in a private study room, and then when the library was closed, the second floor was dark, he'd just go back there, get the record, and then hide it in a floor above on the 5th floor where all the large art books were that no one looked at. And he knew he could go back and get it because he knew he was the only person who knew exactly where the record was, because he didn't have to go on a computer to find it, because he's the only one who's taking it out. He's the only one. So this involved him staying late at night, and then taking it, and then hopefully just leaving out the next day. We knew he could do this because we literally did stakeouts late night to see if it was visible from the outside, if he was walking around, and it wasn't. We also did like dry runs of possible plans. We'd just go to the library one day and we'd just do dry runs, see if it would work. And we decided it would. So phase 3, this is the most important phase. This would take place the next morning after Tyler had hidden the record on the 5th floor. So we would all return, me, him, and 2 more accomplices, people we trusted. This is important for a heist. You need trust. So we went back. Tyler was to retrieve the record from the 5th floor and put it in his backpack. So now it doesn't need to be scanned by anyone. No one knows it's there. And then I am waiting by an elevator outside, and then someone else has a book on the 2nd floor exit. There's a 2nd floor exit. And as Tyler goes towards the 2nd floor exit with the record in his backpack, this other person goes towards the exit holding a book that hasn't been scanned. They both leave out the exit, and the detectors go off. And Tyler continues, and the person holding the book turns around and says, "Forgot to scan my book." Thus, the detection scanners go off. Makes total sense. Tyler hands the backpack off to me, and I take the elevator downstairs, and which exits out of another building. He returns, leaves out the first entrance, holding no backpack, so there's no reason for anyone to think he stole anything. He doesn't have a backpack. That was the plan. That was the heist plan as to how to steal this record, which we believed was flawless. But as I mentioned, it was finals week, and we actually had grades and schoolwork to worry about, and we could never get to stealing that record, even though we really wish we did. But now, it's been a couple of years, Tyler has, I believe, thousands of records all lining the walls of his home in Pennsylvania. And there's a few of them that are actually more rare and are worth more than Lamont Young's The Well-Tuned Piano. I own 22 records, so I have a lot of catching up to do. That's the story. That's it.